Hey guys, it's Michael. Welcome back to Michael in the Morning. Today is Thursday, December 3rd, 2020, and this is your second stimulus check and second stimulus package update as well as news report. We have a lot of big news to go over from Senate Majority Leader Mitch McConnell and House Speaker Nancy Pelosi. They're both talking about the second stimulus package, specifically the $908 billion bipartisan bill that was proposed earlier this week, and how they're starting to get on board with passing this. So let's get right into the updates. House Speaker Nancy Pelosi and Senate Minority Leader Chuck Schumer came out yesterday on Wednesday and announced that they are backing the $908 billion proposal introduced by a group of lawmakers, a bipartisan group of lawmakers, on Tuesday as a way to restart negotiations. In a letter on Wednesday, House Speaker Nancy Pelosi and Chuck Schumer said that in the spirit of compromise, we believe the bipartisan framework introduced by senators yesterday should be used as a basis for immediate bipartisan bicameral negotiations. They go on to say that of course they and others will offer improvements to this bill, but the need to act is immediate, and they believe that with good faith negotiations, we could come to an agreement within the next couple of days before they go on recess on December 21st. That is absolutely huge. Their support on this bill comes as the two parties began exchanging offers earlier this week. We had seen a total of 3 new stimulus offers, and they had been stalled before the election. So ultimately, House Speaker Nancy Pelosi and Chuck Schumer, they said that they are on board with this, and they even sent Senate Majority Leader Mitch McConnell a new stimulus offer with an undisclosed price tag on Monday evening, with Schumer calling it a private proposal to help them move the ball forward and get things going and hopefully come to an agreement. The $908 billion bipartisan second stimulus proposal that the Democratic leaders now support has a significantly lower price tag than the $2.2 trillion version of the HEROES Act that they were pushing just a couple of weeks ago. The compromise, this $908 billion bill, which I went over in yesterday's video, includes $160 billion for state and local governments, $180 billion for additional unemployment benefits, $288 billion for the second round of the Paycheck Protection Program for small businesses, short-term liability, among other provisions. The most relevant and most important aspect of this bill to most Americans is that it would give people who are unemployed an extra $300 per week for 18 weeks on top of their unemployment benefits from the state government. However, the problem is that this bipartisan proposal actually doesn't include a second round of $1,200 stimulus checks, which is a provision supported by most people in Congress and most Americans. Most Americans were expecting to get another $1,200 stimulus check. So one possibility is that this could be added on into the bill during negotiations, but as of right now, it doesn't include direct stimulus checks. And also one thing that is very important about this bill that could help it getting passed is that only $348 billion of this bipartisan proposal would be new funding from the government. The other $560 billion would be repurposed funds from the CARES Act. So this means that it's a lot less money that's actually new that's being spent, and that is something that Republicans want, so maybe they will be more on board with this bill. Next up is Senator John Thune, a member of GOP Senate leadership, told reporters on Capitol Hill yesterday that the announcement from Nancy Pelosi and Chuck Schumer to support this $908 billion second stimulus bill is really good progress. He said that it's a move in the right direction, and he thinks hopefully it'll be helpful in getting us a deal passed. He said that they had this huge request. They wanted to pass a multi-trillion-dollar package, which was unreasonable. Now they've gotten reasonable, and he thinks that it could help them come to a solution and get a bill passed before the end of this month. Bottom line is that Congress has increasingly faced pressure to pass a bill and to act as virus cases nationwide are starting to increase even more, and several emergency rescue programs to aid unemployed people are going to be running out in just a couple of weeks. So basically, a lot of economists, a lot of lawmakers, and a lot of people are worried because all these programs are running out, and that is why passing a second stimulus package is getting more and more urgent and getting to be a more important issue. And finally, Democratic House Majority Leader Steny Hoyer was set to speak to Mitch McConnell yesterday on Wednesday about pandemic relief. And earlier in the day yesterday, the number 2 House Democrat told reporters that he hopes the parties can strike a deal by the end of the weekend and pass it by next week. In a possible sign that Democrats want to link stimulus with the government spending bill, Steny Hoyer said Wednesday that he wants to finish legislative business in the House by the same date. Hoyer goes on to say that the need for a second stimulus package is great. It is immediate, it is urgent, and he thinks we certainly have the capacity to act and get a bill passed by the end of this month. And he says he thinks we could reach an agreement this weekend and pass a bill next week. On Wednesday, McConnell suggested that the sides have reached a more productive phase of talks, and he said that in the last several days, the Democratic leaders have signaled a new willingness to engage in negotiations in good faith, and he hopes to get a bill done and passed in the next couple of days. So this is all great news right now. Both Democrats and Republicans are saying that we could be able to see a bill passed by the end of next week. They're saying hopefully we can come to an agreement either today, tomorrow, or during the weekend, and then get the bill passed next week. So we'll have to wait and see what happens, but that's your second stimulus check and second stimulus package update as of Thursday, December 3rd, 2020. I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. Don't forget to get your 2 free stocks valued up to $1,600 when you download the Webull investing app using the link down below. I hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you next time.